Baseball fans, happy Tuesday afternoon to you as we're live here on the Payoff Pitch each and every single day at 11:30 a.m. Eastern Time. I'm Jason. He's the Hockey Squirrel, and we're powered by BetUS. Fantastic sports books. Go ahead and add them to your arsenal. You can never have too many books, and they use cryptocurrency, and they've also got the best sign-up bonuses around, so go check out BetUS. Let's get the Hockey Squirrel's opening thoughts here in the first inning. We call it Quick Hits. What's on your mind there, Squirrel?
I love today's slate. I do. I think there's a lot of spots to take advantage, and I really do think that
Love it. I love
it. I really do think that it's kind of a day for favorites, though. Is kind of what I'm seeing. There's at least a good spot for a nice underdog play that I have, but mostly I think it's going to be about the favorites today. But I think there's a lot of good spots for them and good reasonings, at least.
I agree. I love it when you're like me and other handicappers, you stare at these numbers all day long, but I just love it when you can just like go to the day's schedule and see the slate of games and just be like, oh yeah, I already know I'm going to love that. That's what today's slate felt like, guys. It just felt like a lot of good spots are there for the picking, and we can help you guys put some money in your pocket. So let's go ahead. Actually, before we jump into it, we had a comment on yesterday's video from Tyler. He wanted to know, you were obviously talking about Garrett Cole's struggle to open the season. He wanted to know, did you end up fading Garrett Cole on Sunday against the Guardians, or did you leave that one alone?
I don't think I touched baseball on Sunday. I think I did all NHL games on Sunday.
Okay.
So yeah, I don't think I even touched baseball. But how did it go for him?
I was gonna say, well, good decision for you. You and everybody else has been kind of bashing Garrett Cole to start the season, like I said, rightfully so. But he had himself a day on Sunday, so it looks like you avoided that trap there and saved yourself some losses. So good work there, Squirrel. Let's move it over to the second inning. We call it around the bases. We'll each take a couple games and we'll break them down for you. You want to go ahead and kick it off for us?
Sure. I would like to talk about the Mets, and I think another game that I probably missed some value on, but it's still something that I like, even at the current price, with the Mets and the St. Louis Cardinals. Chris Bassett, I think, has had a decent opening to the season as far as I can remember. And again, even at a smaller price of 120 or 125, it just feels to me like the offense is worth it and the bullpen is worth it. They're just a well-rounded team. They've been getting it done. Could you have gotten a lower price yesterday or last night? Yeah, absolutely you could have. And I think within my handicapping, it's something I would like to start doing is looking at games even earlier, or at least taking the plunge at least on a game earlier when I kind of know it's going to go up like these have been. And I think it's going to be the most beneficial to do that early in the season now too, where we're not getting lines set at crazy prices. But Jordan Hicks, again, I'm pretty sure last week I had talked about him, and I think he just pitches like 2 innings and he's out, if I remember, if that's the guy. So I would expect Chris Bassett to have a good outing, and again, for the Mets offense, minus 120 is not a bad deal.
I think it's an outstanding deal. It's a play that I'm already on. I already tweeted that one out several hours ago. So love that play right there, obviously, with the Mets. I'm going to go ahead and switch it over to we got the Marlins taking on the Nationals today here in Washington. I like this Marlins F5 money line on the three-way line. So obviously, if there's a draw here, we'll go ahead and lose our wager because it's a three-way money line. You get it at plus 115. Get it at plus 115 over at BetUS right now. So love that plus money bet. Let's go ahead and look at the Josiah Gray here for the Nationals, and he's obviously a right-handed pitching. Let's see what these Marlins have been doing in the last 10 days against right-handed pitching. They're the 4th best average in major leagues, hitting 268. They've got the 10th most doubles in the last 10 days. They've got the most triples in the last 10 days, 10th most runs, tied for 3rd in terms of walks, 27th in strikeouts. That's really the only thing they don't do well against right-handed pitching is they have a knack to really strike out. But other than that, they're doing it really well against right-handed pitching. Again, they got the 4th best batting average versus those right-handers. The Marlins saw Josiah Gray twice last season. Pitched pretty good against these Marlins. 6 innings pitched, 2-run ball in both of those. Was able to get 7 and 8 Ks. respectably in those couple of outings. But boys, he got a tough ace to go against, and it's Alcantara there of the Marlins, coming off a beautiful outing against the Cardinals. 8 innings pitched, 0 runs ball, even threw in a quality start against the Phillies. So that means we know he went at least 6 innings pitched, giving up 3 earned runs or less. And then he had a solid outing against the Giants. So this guy's been tested. You've gone against the Cardinals, Phillies, and Giants to start your season, and you've had good starts to excellent starts in all 3 of those. Love that right there. Went against the Nationals twice in 2021, had a stinker, and then had a really good outing of 8 innings pitched, 0 runs, and that's what I think he'll go out and reproduce today. He's having a strong start to his season. I think the Marlins, with what they're doing against right-handed pitching right now in the last 10 days, I think they'll get to Josiah Gray. So give me that Marlins F5 money line on the 3-way line at plus 115. What's another game on your mind?
Yeah, I absolutely love the Marlins. Personally, I think I'll probably end up going the full game. I really like Alcantara as well. So great pitching matchup in that one. Another game I was looking at is really a pretty lopsided mismatch game of the Giants tonight playing the Oakland Athletics. Carlos Rodon has been an absolute monster, right? And you have a massive favorite of minus 275. Not that we're going to take that, but for what the Giants offense is, for the fact that they're at home, for the fact that you have Carlos Rodon. Minus 120 for a run line. I took a run line last night. I'm not really too keen on taking run lines, and especially in hockey, where it's a bit of a lower scoring game. You have some games where you see 9-2 or something in baseball. So it's perhaps a little bit easier. I would expect, if you were to look long term at that the winning percentage for a run line in baseball may be a bit higher than hockey, but still, there's not a lot of spots I generally would do this. But for this matchup, for the pitching we're expecting to be really lopsided, and
right.
It's just quite clearly the better team. I think it's a pretty safe play to take the run line, minus 1.5.
Yeah, I think it's extremely safe. The Oakland A's are barely hitting above the Mendoza line against any pitcher right now, left or right-handed. So love that pick right there. I'm going to talk about that game a little bit later on. Love his run line pick. I've got a different angle in that game that I want to go ahead and talk about later, but I want to go ahead and first talk about the Kansas City Royals going against the Chicago White Sox. This one pulled at my hearts a lot. I wanted to get in a bet on this, did not end up betting it, but I want to just share the information because there's something I love about this. And what do I love about it? It's White Sox against left-handed pitching. Boy, did we cash so many tickets last season against left-handed pitching, and we've already cashed one this season. We've already cashed earlier on this season when the White Sox went up against Tarek Skubal there of the Detroit Tigers. We got a nice cash as he only went 4 innings pitched, 5 runs. But the thing that has given me hesitation, if you look at season-long stats, the White Sox are hitting left-handed pitching .342. That's not the way I look at stats, at least not in baseball. I look at it in smaller sample sizes. We talked about last week how the White Sox are struggling to hit the ball. They're not hitting left-handers like they did last season or earlier on in the season at that 342 clip. They're now hitting left-handers at a 172 clip. We know the White Sox are struggling. To see it carry over to their left-handers, boy, that just really upsets me because this was one of the games where I thought it was going to be an easy F5, whether it's a money line or F5 team total. Just not that way. They're struggling. The one thing that, okay, maybe you do go ahead and bet this. Boy, the White Sox really have had some success against Daniel Lynch, the starter here for the Royals. He had a good start in 2021, but he also had 2 bad starts. In those 2 bad starts, combined 3.1 innings pitched, 12 hits, 14 runs, and 3 home runs. And the White Sox obviously then have some good averages against Lynch. Some of their bigger players, Abreu's hitting 750, Grandal's 2 for 2, Roberts is 2 for 2, Harrison's also 2 for 2, TA7 is hitting 400. So their big bats are really doing some damage. All those are small sample sizes. I really wanted to bet this, but I wanted to talk about it just because it's a bet that I think everybody knows that I love to make. The White Sox against left-handers, struggling too much. And I had the gut feeling last week against the Guardians that offense was going to cause them some problems, and I was right. So I'm going to go ahead and lay off this one, but I did want to talk about it because I love White Sox against left-handers. So that's another game for me. All right, let's go.
Before we move on, I just wanted to ask you if you are doing anything at all for the rest of the innings on the Brewers and Pirates. And if not, I would just like to mention something. Do you have anything in that game?
I got a pitching prop. our boy Mitch Keller's on the mound, but go for it.
Cool. Just because I'm noticing off of, like distributions and leans and tickets and all that kind of stuff, the money is heavily on the Pirates today against Brandon Woodruff. Do you think the Pirates are a good spot for being an underdog at all?
Not with my boy Mitch Keller going against Brandon Woodruff. I've kind of seen the same things you have. You actually have that information. But I just looked at the money line. The money line opened up at minus 195 on BetUS and is now down to minus 170 on BetUS. So that told me that people were backing the Pirates. I got no part.
Yeah.
I want no part of the Pirates with Mitch Keller on the mound. None.
I don't either, but it's just kind of surprising to me is all. I mean, I was just sitting here looking at stuff and it's like, why?
Yeah.
But, yeah, I mean, I don't know. I don't really want to go against that either. I'm not touching the game. I just thought it was like an honorable mention for something that looked weird. But
yep.
Anyway, now we can shut up and pitch.
Let's shut up and pitch. We'll give you guys some pitching props. I'll go ahead and start it off just because I've talked about Mitch Keller. We did not do his bet last start. You guys remember we laid off because his hits allowed was at over 5.5. We had never seen that from Mitch Keller. When we cashed 10 of the last 12 to end the season in 2021, we were just paying 4.5. But boy, were we paying a lot of juice from 140 to 145. And I said on last week's episode when we got 5.5, if he doesn't hit 4.5, that number will come back at 4.5. We got 4.5, so go ahead and bet it, folks. And it's juicy. It's back to minus 140, but bet has treated me too well to not go ahead and bet it. Mitch Keller. And the other thing I like about this, he's facing the Brewers today, obviously. That's who he faced in his last outing. We know that favors the hitter. So while he didn't go over 5.5 hits in his last start, he's seeing this same team, 5 days later? What did I say yesterday about Kyle Gibson going up against the Rockies? He was going to say under 4.5 Ks because his last start was against those Rockies, and that would have gotten you a nice plus 125 cash yesterday. So we know this favors the hitters when you see a pitcher real soon again. So right back to Mitch Keller over 4.5 hits at minus 140. What's a guy for you on the bump today?
I'm going to be honest with you. I'm going to wrap all my stuff up into one. I'm going to give out like more areas of interest today, I guess, or things that I would look for. I don't have specific bets because I'm not getting the lines that I even want. There are no pitcher props in the games that I'm interested in. So what I'm going to do is just kind of talk about areas of interest. And number one, I was looking at Tristan McKenzie. I would be curious to see what the strikeouts are over under. I don't know if it's something that I'm just not finding on the books I'm looking at, but I don't know, like a lot of things are just not even out, not even available. So Tristan McKenzie, I would look to get some strikeouts against the Angels. I would look for Marcus Stroman to potentially struggle. He has been struggling already, so either an under strikeout or perhaps some kind of command issues, maybe like a walking prop on him. Josiah Gray to struggle as well against the Marlins. And I was looking here at Joe Musgrove is somebody that I think I took a pitcher prop on once before for the over strikeout total. I think it was like 4.5. Today it's 5.5, but they got it juiced up to minus 160. So it's like, again, I find it very, very difficult to actually find things that I can legitimately back and get behind. But I mean, there's areas of interest for me. It's just I don't have legit lines to give out, solid actual picks. So
that Musgrove one's an interesting one because everybody knows how the Reds struggle. They had lost like 9 games in a row via the run line. While they have the worst batting average against right-handed pitching, they also have the least amount of strikeouts versus right-handed pitching. So that Musgrove one's interesting. I don't think the Reds are going to do any damage, but maybe you also don't look for them to strike out. That one's an interesting one that you go ahead and bring up. All right, guys, I got another pitching prop for you. You talked about those Giants. Boy, that's a great play today. If you don't want to drink all that juice or if you don't want to risk the Giants winning by 2+, which I certainly think they'll win by 2+. I think you gave out an excellent bet. You could do Carlos Rodon to be the winning pitcher at minus 115. So that's a way you can get away from maybe doing all the juice. Is just take Carlos Rodon to be the winning pitcher. You said it well enough. I don't really need to say it. Actually, let me go through these stats. There's only 3 stats, but boy, these things are beautiful because this guy's gonna be in the Cy Young conversation all season long. His ERA 1.06. His WHIP is 0.82, and opponents are batting 140 .140 against this man while he strikes out 15.4 per 9 innings. Carlos Rodon will be in the Cy Young conversation all season long. Take him at -115 to be the winning pitcher. All right, so that was my
100%.
alternative there to your excellent Giants run line play. I really like the Giants today. All right, we got to give these people some long shots, some plus money bets. What's a dog that you think can go ahead and get a win today?
I like the Cleveland Guardians. I think I took them yesterday in the first 5. It wouldn't have mattered, I guess, if you got the first 5 or the full game because they didn't win either. They got shut out yesterday, and I think people see that, and it will somehow factor into today. I think Tristan McKenzie is, decent. I think he had a lot of experience last year. And I don't know if we've seen him very much this year, have we? I don't know if I've really seen him at all personally. But I don't think Sandoval's that great. So I do kind of give the pitching advantage a little bit to Tristan McKenzie. I do like his stuff, and from what I've seen, he's that long, lanky pitcher, right? He's got the long arms, call them sticks.
Right.
That's what I call him. But no, I do like him for a plus 145 is what I was seeing. And I think in terms of like money backing and distribution and stuff, it's on the Guardians. And for the plus money plays today, I mean, what do you really have that's worth taking a shot at? I mean, you have I guess the Pirates, which we already talked about and we don't like. I mean, maybe
I thought you said it best. It's a day of favorites. It is. It does look like with the starters that are on the mound for these superior teams. I think it is a day of favorites.
Absolutely. So the one spot that I found that I would back for a decent underdog price is a plus 145 on the Guardians.
Okay. All right. You got the Guardians there. I'm going to throw ahead and throw out 2 long shots for everybody. What about the Royals against the White Sox at plus 140? This one's really just fading the White Sox and how they can't hit left-handed pitching, can't hit right-handed pitching, can't hit their way out of a wet paper bag. Royals are a tick better. They're not a ton better, but the Royals are better against left-handed pitcher. We're, of course, mentioning that because there's 2 left-handers on the mound. Bullpens, big advantage here to the Royals. Big advantage here to the Royals. So that's why I like them as an underdog is they had the hitting advantage, albeit slightly, but they have a big bullpen advantage. And then another team that's got a huge bullpen advantage, we talked about this team last week in terms of the Minnesota Twins, how they're in the bottom of the bullpen stats. The Detroit Tigers are sitting nice when they look at bullpen stats. So I think the Tigers at plus 120 over at BetUS could be a nice stab there for the underdogger. Offense is even, left versus right-handed pitching. Offense is even, but you get in this bullpen, you got a Tigers team that can really shut down the game where the Minnesota bullpen is certainly leaky and giving up runs. So those are 2 dogs I would kind of keep an eye on today. Royals at plus 110 over at BetUS, or plus 140. Sorry, plus 140 over at BetUS, and then the Tigers at plus 120 at BetUS as well. Let's give these people some hitting props. Who's going to do some damage today for you?
Sorry, I'm all got some Fleming stuff going on here. Chris Bryant of the Colorado Rockies. I was looking at 9 hits on 15 at-bats against Zach Eflin. And, I think the books kind of know. So, if you want to take just the over 1 hit, you're paying some hardcore juice. So what I'm looking at is to go over 1.5 bases, the total bases. And then that drops the juice right down to plus 130. But 7 singles, 2 doubles is what we've got for
Chris Bryant.
So yeah, it might take a couple at bats, but you should at least see him at the plate a few times. And obviously they don't see the starting pitcher the whole game either. So I don't mind Chris Bryant to go over 1.5 total bases at plus 130.
Got an angle in there that I love. Obviously with the Phillies and Rockies, they hooked up last week. So Chris Bryant seeing that same starter, his next start out. So I love that angle that you're playing right there. I want to touch on before I give a couple of my hitting props, kind of what you talked about there, the juice. You're either finding it extremely hard to bet these guys because if you want to say a guy can get a hit, it's at minus 200. So you're down to making 2-legged parlays, which is fine. I think 2-legged parlays are about as big as I would get, or you got to do the total bases angle, which is what you did with Chris Bryant. Pretty much anybody you get over 1.5 total bases, you get a good even money. So that's just a little bit of the struggle, though. These sports books are juicing the over 0.5 hits up
100%.
so much.
Yeah, 100%.
But a couple guys that I think could do some damage today. What about Whit Merrifield there of the Kansas City Royals? Really feasted off Dallas Keuchel, 7 for 25 in his career. That's a 280 batting average, 2 doubles, and only 2 strikeouts. So in those 25 at-bats, only 2 Ks. So he's at least putting the bat on the ball. Put the bat on the ball, you have a chance to get a hit. So I like Whit Merrifield today. I think in this Minnesota Twins game, you can look at Carlos Correa or Gio Urshela. They've both had success. Correa's hitting 462 in 13 at-bats, and Urshela's hitting 333 in 21 at-bats. So I like that sample size. And kind of like I gave you guys a same-game parlay yesterday in that Dodgers game, I think Squirrel's on to something here in that Rockies versus Phillies game. I would do a same-game parlay with some Phillies hitters. They're going against Marquez here. Schwarber's hitting 462. Segura's hitting 455. Real Muto's hitting 333. Harper's 313. And Castellanos is 500. Drop a few of those guys in the same game parlay if that's your flavor. They should certainly be doing damage. And then, like I just said, they just saw the starting pitcher in his last time out. So that's obviously going to increase their chances to do some damage. So those are some guys I think that can do some work with a stick in their hand. Let's go to It's a Steal here in the 6th inning. What's on the board that you just thought was a steal today?
So you look at, and it caught my eye, right? And I've been about the Astros, but is it a steal with Jake Odorizzi is what kind of scares me. At minus 115, it's like, yeah, I mean, again, it's kind of like a Mets play in a way where, you'll take it just for the offense at a low price. But Odorizzi, at least, you always remember the games you get burned on, right? You always remember
right.
the guys that screw you. And Odorizzi, I think twice now has been that guy. And I think I might steer away from it, but just to talk about a game that we haven't touched on yet, I do think it's a low price for what the Astros are. But my true steal, I think, is going to be the Miami Marlins at a minus 120 with Alcantara, is what I really like.
That's what you like. I struggled today to come up with It's a Steal. While I may have liked this state, I did struggle. So I'm going to give out a NRFI. People out there like the NRFI. I did not bet this one. Yeah. White Sox and Royals, they're only averaging 0.21 and 0.4 runs in the first inning. If you look at home and away, respectively, one team is averaging nothing, and the other team is only averaging 0.13. You got Keuchel on the mound. We've gotten a cash from him. We all remember getting burned at his last start out when he gave up a run, 0 hits. The White Sox defense came out of that game, went error. So I'm not going to put that on Dallas Keuchel one bit. And then you got Daniel Lynch, not the greatest of all first inning numbers, but going up against a White Sox team that just can't hit left-handed pitching in this current moment, can't hit any pitching at this current moment. So if you want to do a NRFI, I do think that is the best one on the board, but I didn't bet it. Couldn't get my money there. So let's do 7th inning coming to a stretch. Let's give these people our best bet of the day. What's your best bet on the board there?
Something I talked about way long ago, but I'm going to just grab the Giants run line because I don't expect the Oakland Athletics to get any hits on Rodon at all, or do really any damage with how incredible, its start has been. So right there, it's just basically up to the Giants bats to do damage because that pitching and defense should be more than enough against Oakland. Really blowout potential, I think.
Yeah, we had a comment earlier roll by through us that they liked over 6.5 runs in that game. I like it, but you may not get any help from those Athletics in getting to that 7+ runs to cash over 6.5. That's my only fear. It's just Athletics don't hit. Rodon is so strong. Now the Giants can certainly put up 7+ runs, but you may be asking the Giants to do all about maybe one of those runs, and that's the only concern I saw right there. So you're on the Giants as your best bet. I'm going to go ahead and do the Mets money line at minus 105, and the Dodgers run line at minus 115. I threw 2 in this section. I already tweeted both of those prices out earlier, way ahead of the closing line. Got the Mets is now minus 125 over at BetUS. The Dodgers is now minus 135 over at BetUS. So beat the closing line. Again, doesn't mean anything if you don't go ahead and cash these bets. I don't need to dwell on this. I was on these 2 plays yesterday. I justified the offenses, the bullpen advantages. You kind of talked about Bassett going up against Hicks. I like Bassett, obviously. And then you got Gonsolin going up against Davies. Davies, we've talked about enough. But even just removing the starting pitchers, obviously, I'm gravitating towards the way better offense and the way better bullpen. So we won't dwell on those. Talked about that. earlier on. And it's also getting to the point in the season, and you'll see here in my betting going forward, that I like to, you look at the slate of games, you say, okay, the Mets are going up against the Cardinals, Dodgers are going against the Diamondbacks. And I like to bet every game in that series because while I may not know which, 2 out of the 3 games the Dodgers can win, I'm confident that they can win the series. So you'll see that going forward. I'll find a series that I like and just hammer the money line all 3 games. So Mets and Dodgers are certainly a series that I like. All right, 8th innings. Yep.
Talking about series prices, I know this is a baseball show, but we're still pertains to betting. We're getting into the NHL playoffs, and as we get into the playoffs, that's something to be looking at as well as series pricing. I think is very valuable there. Not really to dodge in and out of games, and you have series obviously unlike hockey, right, where you don't play 3 games back to back to back generally unless it is playoffs, but I do like the series pricing angle, so it's something I'm probably going to start looking at myself as well.
Okay, nice. Let's move it over now to the 8th inning. We call it safe or out. We'll guide these people through our through the various promos. It's FanDuel. It's Dinger Tuesday. I think it's an absolute terrible promo with you getting back free bets as opposed to site credit. And then BetUS's home run odds are way better than FanDuel because they juice them up here on Dinger Tuesday. Like you can get the same guy today, just wait and get him tomorrow. He'll be way better on FanDuel. They screw this promo up, so it's a shame. Absolutely love that. So let's just move over now to the closer where we'll give these people our best bets. Why don't you go ahead and run through yours first?
So I talked about the steal being the Marlins. I love Alcantara. Josiah Gray, not really the greatest pitcher. Nationals are at home, and I waited for their bats to come alive, and I don't think they have. I don't think they ever did so far. Minus 120 for that price. If you wanted to drop it into a first 5, I suppose you probably could do that as well. Mets minus 125 for really it's just a well-rounded team, right? I mean, it's one of the best bullpens. It's Chris Bassett. You expect Jordan Hicks to come out after about 2 innings, and for a lower price, I don't mind that offense. And then the Guardians, I'll take a stab at the value for plus 145 with Tristan McKenzie on the mound. Hopefully on a public fade after they got shut out last night, and people see that and try to back him again.
All right, good bets right there. You can see my official bets along with his on the left-hand side of the screen. I'm on Mitch Keller, over 4.5 hits allowed at minus 140. Dodgers run line at minus 115. Mets money line at minus 105. And the Marlins F5 money line plus 115 will be my dog of the day. I try and give out a plus money bet every day. Well, that's my dog of the day. And that's a 3-way money line, so a tie sinks us. Let's go ahead and do rapid fire now. We'll talk about all 15 of these games from a run line, money line, or over-under perspective. So let's just jump right into it. We've got Brewers and Pirates up first. We've got an over-under of 7. Brewers at minus 170. As you mentioned earlier, boy, that price is coming down. But the Pirates are at plus 150. I take the Brewers. I've taken them at minus 170. I guess I'll take the Brewers on the run line at minus 105.
I might lean like a plus 1.5 on the Pirates, to be honest with you. Otherwise, a very small bet, not a full unit or anything, but I guess I don't want to go against a falling line with the Brewers. So, maybe a half unit play on the money line or just a plus 1.5 on the Pirates. Okay,
good stuff right there. Padres and Reds are up next with an over-under of 7.5. We've got the Reds coming in at plus 150 dogs, where the Padres are minus 170. I mean, the Reds lost all 9 of those games in a row via the run line. I know they won last time out against the Cardinals. I'll jump right back in on fading them and think they'll lose again by the run line. So Padres run line for me at minus 105.
Yeah. I don't know why I don't feel like taking the run line. I don't love paying minus 170, but I think Padres win. I don't think there's a lot of value attached to it, but I would probably just take the Padres money line.
Okay, you got the first 2 games we did. Brewers minus 170, Padres also at minus 170. I think the Padres is by far the easier choice to go ahead and say, well, if you're paying minus 170, you would take the Padres more than the Brewers, right? At least for me.
I would think so. Yeah, and there's no weird movement going on with the line.
Mm-hmm. Gotcha.
Yeah, I don't feel sketchy about it.
Mariners and Rays are up next. We've got BetUS showing us an over-under of 7. Mariners are at plus 115. Rays are at minus 135. Under 7 runs for me with Gilbert on the mound versus Weisler. What about for you?
Yeah. He's going to come out within an inning that Tampa Bay raised the Matt Whistler or whatever.
A couple innings.
And then we expect, I think, Josh Fleming to come right in after him against Logan Gilbert. So I think I'd back the Mariners on the money line.
Mariners on the money line. We've got Rockies and Phillies up next with an over-under of 8. Rockies are at plus 140. Phillies are at minus 160. To me, yeah, my son came in the room here, fellas. He's helping us. He's saying take the over 8. I've already given it out here in the chat. Been communicating with a couple guys here. I'm easily on that over. Starting pitchers were just seen last week by these same 2 teams. I'm expecting the starters to get hit. Over 8.
Sure. Yeah, sounds good to me, man.
Orioles and Yankees are up next with an over-under of 8. Orioles come in at plus 225 on BetUS. Yankees are at minus 280. Severino versus Jordan Lyles. I think even the run line's at minus 140. Definitely not doing that. I think the Yankees money line is just a parlay piece at minus 280.
You wouldn't entertain at all even a small amount on the Orioles just for in case.
Not with Jordan Lyles. Nope, want no part of that. I had faded him a ton. Yeah, I know he's off to a good start, but not a guy I'm backing. Faded him a ton last season. Dude gives up home runs.
I mean,
all the time.
Just for pure, in case. I mean, I can't back a minus 140 on the run line. I don't know. I'm not about it. So yeah, I don't know. It'd have to be a total play then, or something very, very small on the Orioles.
You can get over at BetUS plus 1.5 runs, still at plus money, at plus 120.
Oh, yeah, it is. So
yeah. All right, go ahead and take that one. Marlins and Nationals, we're both on the Marlins. We'll go ahead and skip that game. We'll do Red Sox and Blue Jays, over-under of 8. Red Sox plus 165, Blue Jays minus 195. Correctly was on the Blue Jays yesterday. I still think the Blue Jays are the better team, and they'll get the win, but boy, at minus 195. Maybe just do a Blue Jays-Yankees moneyline parlay. That'll come in at plus money.
Sure.
I don't know. We got Gosman on the mound versus Pivetta. I mean, Blue Jays, for the reasons I talked yesterday, I liked the Blue Jays. I still like them today. So it's just a matter of how can you work them in.
Yeah. Next game we
got the Royals and White Sox up next. Over/under of 8.5. Royals are dogs at plus 135. The White Sox come in at minus 155. This one was tough for me. I talked about it in the second inning. I would lean the over, right? Both of these teams hit left-handers if you want to look at like their reputation, but not currently. If there's a day for them to wake up, Daniel Lynch has been crushed by the White Sox. Keuchel can get hit by these Royals. He's been doing it. Over 8.5.
Yeah, definitely. I'll take it because I don't want to pick a side.
You don't want to what?
I don't want to pick a side.
Pick a side, yeah. Just take the over. I agree. Cubs and Braves are up next. Over/under of 8. Cubs at plus 135. The Braves are at minus 155. Fried versus Stroman. Braves at minus 155 on the money line.
I'll pay minus 155, man. Marcus has been struggling. Not that I think he's bad. I thought he was at least better on the Mets. I feel bad for him. He's had a bad start to the year, but he just there's no way you can back that. So, especially against Max Fried. I mean, it almost feels a little bit low at 150, to be honest.
Mm-hmm. All right, Tigers and Twins are up next. Over/under of 7. Tigers come in at plus 120. Twins are at minus 140. I think the Tigers are a great dog today at plus 120. What's your pick in this game?
Yeah, I would have to go against my Twins. Say the Tigers on that one.
It's a real bet when you're fading the hometown teams, people. There's no love there. Fade those Twins today. Mets and Cardinals, we can both skip. We both like the Mets. Astros and Rangers. This one's been popular in our chat today. I understand why people are on the Astros. Hearn has been terrible. But the same reason I picked the Rangers yesterday when you were kind of giving out your Astros pick, the Astros cannot hit. Now, if there's a day they're going to hit, this is a pitcher they can hit. But I can't get on the Astros. And I would just take over 9, right? I would just take over 9. Seems a little bit safer. And even that, I'm not really confident in it.
Yeah, I mean, I would back the Astros, but I think there's a reason that it's not a real play for me today. And that reason is Jake Odorizzi. Perhaps you could pick a team and do a team total if the number was right. I don't know what they're actually at, but just different ways to work it in, like you were saying.
Mm-hmm.
If you like the bats of the Astros and you want to back that, just maybe try a team total so they don't have to actually win the game necessarily. But
yeah, I love team totals. Absolutely do it. We know the Guardians. You're on them at plus 140. You got the Angels at minus 160 on BetUS. Over under of 7.5. I'll jump on your Guardians with you there. I like that play at plus 140. Dodgers and Diamondbacks. The whole world's on the Dodgers. Don't need to talk about that one. And Giants Athletics. The whole world is on the Giants. And if you're going to pick between run line, money line, over under, obviously I'm with you. Take that Giants run line. So that's it. The Tuesday edition of the Payoff Pitch. Great comments each and every single day. Love the support. I appreciate you guys. The only one I think we didn't answer was from Daryl. The Nashville Predators are better value than the Houston Astros tonight. Obviously, I don't know hockey, so he's talking to you. What's up, Squirrel, with those Predators tonight?
Well, I got real ready for hockey or for baseball, so let me see who the hell they're playing. I'll answer this. This. Give me a sec. We've got who the hell are we playing here? I'm blanking. I don't even see. It's not even on the board, is it? Nashville Predators.
I don't know. It was weird. There was only one NHL game.
Okay, so against Calgary Flying, I don't see a line on it right now.
Oh, okay.
So it must have gotten taken. Oh no, here it is. Plus 115. So they're better value than the Houston Astros.
That was the question.
It would have to be Saros against Vladar for me. I don't think the Flames have been playing Markstrom because of the fact that, just for preservation of, injuries and whatnot. Hey, here's a good tip for you, though. If you're going to take a game, probably go with the New York Rangers. I don't even know what they are, but I've never heard of this kid. Pyotr Kochetkov. Goalie.
Is that a goalie?
Random.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Never heard of him in my life. The Rangers are minus 125. So there's your hockey free pick.
All right.
Rangers are at home against some random,
some slappy. He'll be a slappy after the end of tonight. He's a guy tonight, but once he gets beat up, he'll become a slappy tonight. All right, guys. Again, wonderful comments. Appreciate you guys jumping in here every single day, giving us your thoughts, your takes, and your best bets. We'll see you back here tomorrow, 11:30 a.m. Eastern time on the Payoff Pitch. Good luck with your bets. Let's have ourselves another winning day, and we'll see you guys back here tomorrow. Have a good one.
Yeah. For that other guy, I'll make a hockey video later, probably on YouTube, or find me on TikTok. I'm 15-5 this month for free picks. So
yeah, stay on TikTok. See you, man.
See you later.